what's up? Just doing a quick video to show you how to change the engine oil separator on my 986 Boxster. There's a few videos out there, but I decided to do my own just in case I hit on anything that somebody else missed. So first off, we're going to start with the parts down here. So we have the brand new air separator. Goes like this in the car, so the top would be the bellows up here. We have the top tube connector, the lower bellows, the lower tube connector, and this part that goes into the block here. So to take it off, you basically have to undo this top one, which I'll show you later, undo the bottom, undo the hose clamp that's here, and there are two 10mm bolts at the bottom. I ordered some parts from Pelican. It also, camera's not focusing. I also got this hose clamp for the lower section here. It makes it a lot easier. So basically you just pull this out and it clamps up as needed down here. And then I also got a top replacement hose for it as well. Cool. So here you have the engine oil separator. So to start this off, I'm going to pull this clamp. Well, I've already done it, but you basically just squeeze top and bottom and pull it out. And then over here you have where the other clamp attaches to. I've pulled that one as well. And then as you can see here on it, there's a little hose that goes on it. And that hose is right here and just has its own little clamp that you undo. The rest of the stuff is down below. Here I'm in the wheel well, and you can kind of get a view of the bottom part of the oil separator. You can see the bellows there kind of in the middle of the screen right there. We have the two 10mm bolts and everything else you need to get to. So obviously it's pretty tight quarters in here. Let's see, if I pan out, basically can only get my hand in there. Alright, so I was able to reach in here and use a 8mm nut driver to get the hose clamp off the bellows. You can kind of see the hose clamp there. It's a little bit behind there. You can kind of see it peeking out. So I was able to get that hose clamp undone. And now if I come up here, in the back of this, you can see right down in there is the top hose clamp. So basically I need to get in there, pinch it, and pull it apart. So in order to do that, I'm going to try to move these two lines above it and get that off. And then I'm ready to pull the two 10mm. So you can see I moved those lines out of the way, so now I have slightly easier access to that hose clamp. So basically I just need to get my hand in there, pinch it, and yank it off the back. I was able to pull out the 10mm bolts, and as you can see it's pretty loose. And let's see, I can probably even do this one-handed and not mess up anything. Cool. So it's out. So here's that new clip I mentioned. So basically I'm just going to put it on here. As you can see, what it is it keeps it under tension, and then when you're ready, all you do is you pull that blue pin and the clip automatically tightens up. So it doesn't necessarily make it any easier to remove, but it definitely makes it easier to put back in. So this just goes over this bellows. Hard to do with one hand. Yep, so it just goes on there. You put it down in. When you're ready, you pull the pin, it tightens up. So here's what it looks like with the air oil separator out. That bellows on the bottom goes directly into the crankcase there. Then, let's see if it'll focus. The other hole, that small one, goes in there, into the block. The top hose goes in here, into the intake. So that's what's going wrong, is basically, you can see it's even leaking oil out. But basically it's putting oil into the intake manifold because something failed inside the oil separator. Probably the diaphragm in there is sticking shut or something. You can see it's quite oily. So I'm actually also going to pull these guys and the throttle body and get that piece of intake out of there, clean it out, and clean the throttle body as well. Not super dirty in the throttle body, but as soon as you look into the intake tube, it is coated in oil. Yep. So I'm going to clean that out, and then going to clean as much of the intakes as I can in the car as well. So yeah, once you fix the air oil separator, make sure to clean out your intake, because this is one pass of reaching in there. There is a lot of oil accumulated, so you want to make sure to clean those out real good. The tube that you can take out is easy enough, but make sure you really kind of dig in here and clean out these intakes. Alright, little pro tip when putting back in this intake manifold piece and throttle body. Connect this first, because this is a hard plastic and it's kind of a pain to get the throttle body in there. And what you do is, this plastic piece, before you put it in, you have these rubber clamps here, or not clamps, the hose connectors, I guess, and you put them in and slide them all the way to the inside. So there's a little room here on both sides, so you can slide these in, and they just barely hang over then. So then you can actually just put this in place and then slide these around as needed to line them up, and then just tighten up all the clamps. Once you have the order operations correct, it's not too bad at all. So we want to make sure that the bellows here is fully seated. I'm basically going to check it out and pull my phone back and review the video.